All right, you are looking at McKinley County District Attorney Bernadine Martin avoiding our 4 Investigates team and dodging questions about accountability for how her office seeks justice. That was almost 2 years ago when our 4 Investigates team first revealed problems, leaving cases on the back burner and victims waiting for accountability. Today, our state's Attorney General took the extraordinary step of trying to fire Martin, who's an elected official. For investigator Ryan Laughlin joins us now. So Ryan, removing an elected official is serious business. It's very rare. So how can the AG do this?
Well, the Attorney General is asking our state's Supreme Court to remove her because, according to this recent court filing today, District Attorney Martin has consistently failed, neglected, or refused to discharge her duties of her office and her inability to retain or recruit assistant district attorneys and the creation of a persistently hostile work environment. That is extremely strong language, and it's a significant escalation from what the Attorney General's office told us when we first asked them about the trouble in Martin's office way back in 2023.
It seemed like maybe that office was possibly overwhelmed, and I can't speak to exactly what was going on within that office or caseloads or anything like that, but it did seem like that was a potential.
So that change in tune is because it took the New Mexico Department of Justice until this year to conduct an investigation into Martin's office. That comes after the legislature stripped her of her ability to control funding for her office, and the governor asking to look into how justice is getting served in McKinley County.
So where do we go next? I mean, what does this mean for the folks in Gallup, and more importantly, the people who are waiting for some semblance of justice there?
Well, the biggest issue for DA Martin has been her inability to recruit and retain qualified prosecutors to do this work, or in some instances, pay people to do the work that she and her office is supposed to be doing on the taxpayer dime. That has been a huge problem. The bottom line is if you don't have the people to do the job, the work doesn't get done. Such is the case with Timothy Martin Jr., a man still awaiting trial for a deadly crash he's accused of causing way back in 2017. The family of Raven Livingston is still waiting for their day in court. Or the case of Parmavir Singh, the California truck driver who killed a couple way back in 2020. It looks like 5 years later he's pleading guilty, but that's only after the Attorney General took over this case. It is now set to be sentenced this fall.
Got to feel for the survivors of those victims there. There's the saying that delayed justice is no justice. But lastly, what is this piece about Martin allegedly working at her private practice at the same time as being a publicly elected official?
That was one of the bombshells that was sort of buried in this court filing here. The AG's investigation claims DA Martin was working cases that paid her, not pro bono cases, that paid her on the Navajo Nation. But the docket there on the Navajo Nation, of course, it's a sovereign nation. It's not digitized. So the AG says we don't have real tools to look into how many cases she was taking on the side, but huge conflict of interest there.
Okay, a lot laid out here. What's the next step?
Well, these are all allegations from the Attorney General. Next step is the state Supreme Court sets the timeline for when Martin will ultimately have to defend herself, respond to these allegations. We reached out to her, and she didn't respond to us.
Okay, well, we'll be following it again. Still, Ryan, thanks for the update.